AMG Hobby Talk number 49. We are back here with the collector of the scallops, collector of the people. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing well, and I think I need to give a shout out to my favorite band, the Tragically Hip. I watched their documentary over the weekend and
Yep.
brought back a lot of memories. And there probably wasn't a locker room back in the 90s that you couldn't not go in and hear the Hip. It was almost like a rule. So, yeah, it was a great documentary. So I recommend both Canadians and my American friends to check it out. I would always try to introduce the Hip to people down south. It works sometimes, depending how many drinks we had in our system. But they bring back a lot of memories, and they were a great band.
So now, you know what's hilarious about this? And I'm being completely serious. I record a podcast on Monday nights that actually will, by the time right now, as we're recording, it's gone live on my YouTube channel. My first thing that I came out of the block with was recommending that documentary. And I gave a quick rundown to the other guys because they're both based stateside, but I gave them a little rundown and gave them a little of the basic. It's just funny, Steve, that you out of the block. So now people are going to think that I planned it and that the fix is in, because that was the first thing I mentioned on that podcast episode that was recorded last night. So it was just funny that it came up.
Well, there's some great clips from the early days. And I mean, Gord Downey was an unbelievable front man. And of course, the rest of his band was great too. But seeing some of the old clips, he was entertaining.
I think it helped that his brother was the one directing. Like one of his brothers actually was directing the documentary, so they were able to get, to your point, a ton of archival footage, like classic old school footage, like from back in the day as well. And it's interesting watching the progression. It's a 4-parter, so just to let folks know, it's a 4-parter. I think about a little over an hour per piece. It was at the Toronto International Film Festival they did it, but now it's available, I think, on Amazon Prime. So you can pretty much watch it. If you already got Prime, you can just watch it for free. It's good. But I would say you can watch the 4 parts. So you can watch them back to back. I binge watched them. I watched all 4. And but you can break it up in pieces, however works for you. But I do recommend it as well. So, and now you're leaving me a thought here that I'll briefly touch on. Before I do, though, Blair, how are you?
Yes, I am here.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I haven't. That's on my list to see. I haven't watched it yet, but I did hear a little interview with a couple of the bandmates. People have been, since this is released, now people are, wanting them to come out and play some more music and stuff, but it doesn't sound like they're going to. It sounds like they're concentrating on music that they still have to kind of try to finish that Gord kind of was with the band. So, yeah, it's exciting. I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I think the problem is they kind of would need a singer. So it's a bit of a problem, And Linkin Park faced this problem, but at least they were able to record new material. So with the new lead singer they picked up on, at least she has been around a while, and they were able to record a separate album. So they've got new songs they'll be able to introduce as part of the catalog when they're doing a show. And they also know how to put on a good show. Mike Shinoda is the one who wrote a bunch of the songs anyway. So he's able to contribute and set things up and make a good show out of it. The problem with Tragically Hip is that Gord Downey literally was the singer for everything, and he wrote a bunch of the stuff. So it's like, yeah, you could do it. I think they did in 22 or 21 during the pandemic. They did a performance for the Junos. That was kind of their first little comeback thing, and they got Feist to be the singer. She's very good because she was able to give a different take on it. And that actually was appealing to them because they had known Feist for a long time. So they said, yeah, absolutely. They picked the song and she did it, and it was very good. But the thing is, you would need someone with some credibility. So it'd be very tricky. It'd be very tricky to do that. They were around too long as a band. Too many decades for them.
Yeah.
It would be too difficult.
He was like a true front man, like just, and very unique. And it'd be tough to replace him. But I think maybe that's the way to go with, established singers maybe that can come in. And
you could do a couple of one-offs. I think you could do the odd, if you really wanted to, you could do a concert here or there, like bring in like a friend that people like that would appreciate, because you're not trying to replace anybody. You're just like, we'll do a concert here or there. I think that's maybe your only bet. If they wanted to do it, you could probably do it that way, but it would have to be a friend of the band who at least they've known for a while. And that would probably be, and then the audience would probably be okay with that as a one-off here or there. I think that'd be the most. So before we move on here, we will get to sports cards here in a moment, but since Steve brought it up, I may as well. All right, Steve, you're trying to pitch the Americanos on it. What song you recommending?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean,
there's a lot of that. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of albums, man. And with the documentary, you've got a refresher. So if you forgot a couple of songs, they brought a lot of them into the documentary.
I mean, I like 50 Mission Cup and
Okay.
Cap, I should say. Dealt with hockey theme a little bit, and I mean the whole Fully Completely Road Apples album up to here. I was first couple albums definitely were in my genre. So a lot of the newer stuff like Bob Cajun and songs like that came along a little bit later. So although I love that song too, was introduced to it a little later in life than when it was released, because by then I was living in the States, and you didn't get as much hip down there.
I think that's fair. I would recommend, so if someone for outside of the normal Canadian audience, the Canadian audience, I'm pretty sure has listened to plenty of Tragically Hip. I would say you can probably go with New Orleans is Sinking. That's probably a good one. That is a good high energy song. That's one would be a good recommendation. Bob Cajun's a good one. Steve could have gone with a thematic one. He was a goaltender. The Lonely End of the Rink. Come on, go. There you go. There's a solid choice. And I'm going to ask you, Blair, in a second. So I'm giving you a moment to think. So I'm going to ask you the same question. And one other thing I would point out is that, again, you got a lot of albums and everything. And my personal favorite, because part of the documentary was covering the fact that the Tragically Hip touched on so many Canadian either stories, themes, or locations for personal reasons. Even though I liked in the documentary they talked about it, apparently we are the same. That one came out in like 08-ish thereabouts. Apparently, yeah, that was a very contentious album for them to do, which the documentary revealed, which was interesting. It was funny because in that one they included a song called Speed River, and I was like, I went to Guelph. So as soon as I was like, hilarious. I love the fact that it was included. But that's the point. You can have all these Canadian references included in the different songs and different albums. So I thought that was interesting. All right, Blair, what are we recommending? What's the song that we're recommending here?
I was just going through. I forget which ones I had on my playlist, but yeah, I mean, nothing. I'm not going to deep dive. I love any of their, the hits and stuff. So I like Courage, or I even like Little Bones. That's a great.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you can do Grace 2. Grace 2 is another one that a lot of people like. So that's another choice that you can make. Yeah.
So it just brings me right back to listening to them on the radio. So when they were not popular, but on the radio. So
Another radio friendly one. Last recommendation: Head by Century. So you could. So that's another. So there's a bunch of really. We're not even doing deep cuts. Those are very solid, straightforward choices, and you can find it on YouTube and check out the music video of the whole bit. So there's a Tragically Hip segment for the episode.
Cool.
Hope you enjoyed it.
All right,
putting a little scroller across the bottom there. AMGcollectibles.ca is the center point where you can deal like all our contacts. We're going to talk about the sports card now. We had our Tragically Hip moment. Thank you, Steve. So now that we've covered that, we're going to touch on a couple of things. Before we get into it, we're going to do a couple of comments from the last episode now. And let me grab some of the most recent ones. So we did have on the channel, there was a break of the cup, 6 tins. So Sherry and Brad actually opened that up. I ended up doing some impromptu emceeing. I'll share the story probably again at a later time. But it was kind of a last minute thing because apparently they were having a couple of technical difficulties. So they asked me to come on, and I came on to give them a little bit of a hand, but I was there. I was actually eating dinner in the background while they were doing most of it. So that's why you didn't hear me too much. I chime in from time to time, but I was actually eating dinner. So I kind of enjoyed it. Now, it seemed like the people did enjoy the break. So I'll read a couple of comments from that and also a couple of comments from the last episode. So one was here, like your last pull of the Power card. I'm holding some of his cards. The Hull and the Carolina card look great. The McDavid is a nice hit. Looks like a better haul than last year. Yes, they did much better on that cup break than last year. We will show off at least one or two of the cards also in our feature here in a minute. Gotham Collections in there. Wicked Video /break. Insane Sens card. Go Sens Go. Of course. Include the Go Sens. Gotta have it. Luke Bradford here. The Grand Fear card is awesome. It was a good picture on the Grand Fear card. That was a good one. Newfoundland 1956 here. Again, I'm just seeing the handles, the little @ handles, so I know that might not be the name you go by. Mercer will do better this year. All right, fair enough. Jared Burke here says, awesome Landeskog. I'm glad he's back in the product. It's been a slow PC search for him nowadays. Thank you for that. 902 VTG says, superb. Thank you for that. My buddy Josh here, tough decision. So now we're actually into last week's episode. So those are from the tin break. So thank you all for the comments. Appreciate that. And then from the last episode, Josh here says, toughest decision of the year, AW flagship or the cup. I know which I would choose. I know, Josh. I know. Josh is also a fan of the AEW, and I might be in discussions with him to send a couple of cards his way. So thank you, Josh. And got them from the last episode. Great video as always. Got some wicked Sens pucks and comics this week from AMG. The Scallop Boss Guy is super pumped for the Sens. Go Sens, go! There you go. The Scallop Boss Guy. That's you. So thank you all for the comments. As always, we appreciate the engagement, and feel free to add more comments to this one, and we'll get to the next episode. If it is more pressing or urgent, you can use the contact points we provide, Instagram or the website. Feel free to email the store, and then you can get information, especially for new products. Okay, so we've got that covered, and now I'm going to zip over to the card show. We talked about the card show. So there's going to be the card show and the trade night. September 27th, the Friday, is going to be the trade night at the store. Steve, do you have the hours for me? For the trade
just
night?
the usual, Friday night from 5 to 8. And now we're back on track, with following it up with the card show on Saturday. And I believe the show's 9 to 3 on Saturday.
9 to 3, yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. And I'm going to share here a post. It's not the fanciest. We don't have the usual fancy graphics. I was trying to find the specific one, but I'll share this anyway, and I'll read it out to you. And this includes information for the card show, which is back. It is going to be in the same mall as the store. So I'll just give you a couple of the details here. So right now it's going to be a monthly card show coming up here, and it is going to start the day after that. September 28th is going to be the first of the relaunch of the card shows, and it is going to be at Bedford Place Mall. So if you know where the store is, then you also know where the card show is going to be. So you're going to be 2 of the unit spaces down from the store, and there's going to be extended show time from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the dates so far that are scheduled are going to be September 28th, so the day after the trade night, October 26th, November 30th, and December 21st. We'll remind you as we get close to those dates. And last point here, for table bookings, you can contact amgbedford@gmail.com to request table bookings. First come, first serve, so reach out if you want to set up at a table. It is a good opportunity to move on some of your stuff, and I think table rates are generally very reasonable, which allows you in turn to be able to put value boxes in there. If you want to clear through some things, might be an opportunity for you to make a couple bucks for yourself. So you can use the contact points.
And part of the reason Sherry's not here this morning is she's on table duty. She's running around from store to store trying to secure tables to set up in the show. So, of course, where it's our first one, we do ask for a little patience because it's new to us, just like it will be to everyone. So it might be a little hectic our first time, but trial and error, we'll figure it out. And I believe we even had like a last minute room switch by the mall. There was like a double booking, which again, the mall's been great to help us out as well. So please be patient and stay positive. And you probably, if you have an issue, you probably don't want to go to Sherry because she's working her butt off, and a little gratitude is due to go her way for her effort. And Brad's been her muscle lugging tables around all week. So I think we're almost there. A few more Canadian tires, and we should have enough tables. But we'll make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I think it's great. We had the dates up, so it's going to be great having shows straight through, which even with our other venues over the years, we haven't been able to get November and December's because of just holiday stuff that's been booked and stuff. So I think it's going to be great. We'll probably get an extra couple of shows, and like Steve said, I think the next one we'll have 2 of the bigger areas opened up to us, so we'll be able to even probably fit a few more tables. I think the mall, and like Steve said, echo that, they've been great to us. So I think they've even allowed us to maybe put some tables down here by our shop. So that'll help alleviate this little room switch for the first one. But all positive. I think, having the shows is great. Gets everybody together again. So stay positive with us. And like the guys, Steve said, Sherry and Brad have been working behind the scenes hard to get this going. So, it's all for the benefit of the collecting community and people trying to move their stuff and just to get together and have a great time. So we'll work it out, and excited to have them.
Excellent. Sounds to me like what we need is a little bit of a playlist of some Tragically Hip. Get the people pumped up, That's the first thing, bring it all together. And then the second thing is, sounds to me, if I'm hearing that you can even get it even closer to the store, I'm hearing no excuses on having some of the content. I'm not pointing at anyone, but I'm saying we may need some pictures and or video. I'm not pointing at anyone. I'm not singling anyone out, but I'm just saying someone may need to put some bonus content together.
Mm-hmm.
Someone.
Okay.
Throwing it out there.
Steve?
So we'll see. If we can manage that, we'll include it on the channel as well so that you guys can check it out. So hopefully that'll be something we can work out.
It'll be a great day all around. And like I said, some tables will be set up outside the store as well. So, customers can, it's like we're having a card show in the store as well. And hopefully, the show's set up mostly for, the local collectors and hobbyists. But hopefully guys come in and, buy supplies, things like that for us. But yeah, I think it's going to be great once we work out all the kinks. And it'll run smoothly.
Perfect. Sounds good. So we covered that. We covered the comments. Again, thank you for the engagement. Appreciate it. Feel free to hit the like and leave other comments. If you got questions or anything, time sensitive, use the contact points. Otherwise, we'll get to it in the next episode. And we'll give you a little bit of a recap of the trade night and card show on next episode as well. Okay. So tell you what, guys, you tell me. I got two things left here that we can cover. Do you want me to show the cards now and then we'll do O-Pee-Chee Platinum finish up, or do you want to do it the other way around?
Yeah, let's show the cards now. Mix it up a little bit.
All right. Let's show the cards. All right. So I mentioned already the cup case break. I keep throwing between tin and case, but it was a case break of 6 tins of the cup that we featured on the channel. It is on the channel if you want to check it out. It was a live stream we did, and Sherry and Brad shared some cards they pulled. So one of the hits on there is one of the first card we're going to feature. This one was the Day with the Cup signature combo. So dual on card, a really nice image of the Stanley Cup, their celebration. And it was Datsuk and Brett Hull. Really nice looking. So you got autograph for both the guys there. And again, I appreciate the image, Stanley Cup image, and it's nicely drawn out there. Looks pretty good. And nice to have the autographs on there on the card. So that was one of the pulls there, and that is available. So, and Steve, feel free to update anything if any of that's already moved, but we're showcasing the cards anyway, but either way, we'll show it. Next up from 2010 Topps Chrome Football, we got the Rob Gronkowski for the Heisman pose there for his rookie card. This one's in a mint 9. With some of these 2010s refractors, it can be surface damage and scratches, but a 9 is a good solid grade for the Gronkowski.
Yeah, and very reasonable price for a Gronkowski too. I actually was surprised. I thought it would book for more, but nice affordable card, and of course he was super popular.
Absolutely. And he was at the Fanatics Fest as well, spiking a slab. So there you go. Still hanging out. 2016 Upper Deck Premier and Austin Matthews autograph patch. So I think this is a rookie RPA, I believe, from that one. And it is the Gold Spectrum version. So this is the number to 25. I believe we've got a non-card auto there to go along with the patch.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually made a big trade at the last trade night towards a Patrick Mahomes rookie autograph. So as much as I like the Mahomes, we're in hockey country. So I made the swap, and I think I might just save that one. We started kind of stockpiling some cards to take to Toronto, because last year at the last minute, we were kind of scrambling, what are we going to take and all that. So just for the next month or so, I've got to kind of, if I get some higher end cards, not to, put our local collectors to the side. I'm just thinking of the big picture of what I need to take to Toronto in November. So this is one of those cards that, we'll probably take up there. We can only take so much when we go to Toronto. So we try to take a few higher end cards, because obviously it's easier to sell one card as opposed to 300 and get the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you got more room now that you opened all the Upper Deck AEW. Like now it's all gone. So now you got more space that you got to make up for. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. All right. 1984 O-Pee-Chee here, the assist leader subset card. This one's in a PSA 10. So that's a pretty solid grade, a strong grade for 83, 84 O-Pee-Chee.
Yeah.
Next here, we got another cup card. So this was the Renditions Relics. So this is the Matt Boldy one. Nice looking patch piece on there. And I also like, again, we're back to having the kind of the drawing kind of design on this. It is, showcasing a hat trick. So like a specific moment to go along then with the relic. So good looking card. I think the aesthetic ends up looking pretty good.
Yeah. And that one's actually numbered out of 5. And
nice.
the store owns that one. So Brad, the collector, attacked that case of the cup and kind of, plucked what he wanted, and then Monday morning kind of confronted me and said, you know, what will you pay me for these? So we were able to negotiate a deal. So some of the cards that were pulled will be available for purchase in the store.
Yeah. So that's the first one I showed there. The dual autograph is one. And then this is another one from that same break. Again, if you want to check out the cards as they were being broken, that video is on the channel as well. So you can check that out. And you can see one of the cards that Brad hung on to might be a Connor McDavid autograph. Just feel free to check it out. It is on there. Next one here is kind of an interesting one. This is a 2021 Topps Chrome Sapphire. So this is the Super Factor Bo Bichette.
Wow.
Yep. Kind of interesting there. So that is a Super Factor 1 of 1. It is labeled on there as a Super Factor 1 of 1. An 8 is not a big deal necessarily when you're talking about a 1 of 1 version of it. Either way, it's encapsulated there, so you've got it, and it's all clearly labeled for you. Bichette is one that I'm kind of interested in the sense that I'm going to be very curious what the Jays end up doing with that. He's a good player and he's shown a lot of potential, but this year has not been his best outcome.
No, having trouble staying healthy. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Last one here is also one from the Cup. This one is the Premium Materials Trios. So you got a Carolina Trios of Aho. I'm not going to try even attempt it.
Svechnikov.
Thank you. And then Brent Burns, triple patch. So we got triple patch out of 10. Again, 3 good patch pieces. Sometimes it can be a bit of a mixed bag, but I think you're getting multiple breaks in terms of multiple colors in a lot of these, multiple breaks. And that's what you want in your nice patch pieces. And they actually picked some good patches for this one.
Yeah, lots of eye appeal there. That's a good card.
Absolutely. And red's my favorite color. So a good solid choice to round things up and finish it. So you got a little bit of a mix. You got a Super Factor in there, some nice stuff from the Cup. You got a nice high grade 80s Gretzky. Pretty good mix. So you can check that out in the store and inquire within if you've got questions about any cards you've seen there. All right. Last one we're going to get in here to it. To finish this up is we're going to talk about 2324 O-Pee-Chee Platinum. So that's going to be a little feature. I'm going to go through it quickly. I will include a link to this in the description for it in terms of the Beckett if you want to check out the checklist more fully. It is 2324, so here's your Bedard warning. And the price on the box will be adjusted accordingly, although we can't say what the price is going to be, but from what Steve tells us, it's going to be extremely competitive. Feel free to check because the pricing on this has gone up quite a bit from previous years in a lot of stores. Again, check online for yourself. Your mileage will vary, but I think you're going to find the price very competitive when you pop into AMG. And if you want to inquire, you can inquire directly with AMG, and then they can give you more information on that. So let's go in here, and I'll go through a couple of high-level views. If you're familiar with O-Pee-Chee Platinum, this is your chromium product that has a ton of parallels. I'm going to read through this very quickly. I know it's going to be fast because there's a lot of them, but check out the link if you want to see it for yourself and take your time and go through. Obviously, you've got your base, but then you've got your rainbow, 1 in 3 packs, sunset, matte pink, black NHL shield variants, liquid metal, violet pixels, red prism, blue fragment, Arctic freeze, cosmic, seismic gold, out of 50 is kind of a traditional one, orange checkers, emerald surge, bioluminescence, and golden treasures 1 of 1s. I mean, most of these are, a good chunk of these are numbered. Bioluminescence? Come on, you're all about the bioluminescence.
I feel like it's going to be an ocean picture or something. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they've done the ocean picture thing before. Like, they've literally done that one in the past, but I'll be curious to see what it looks like myself. Yeah. So you've got the base set design, and then you've also got the marquee rookies. The marquee rookies are where you're going to see a lot of them. So Logan Cooley is the example they're using here in this image. Connor McDavid for the base. You've also got blue rainbow autographs. So you do have autographs in this product.
Yeah.
In the past, generally speaking, they've been on card. I'm not sure if they're going to be on card for this one, but they have been on card in the past, so I'll be curious to see. And you've also got the retro variation. So in addition to everything I just said, there's also a retro variation on a lot of these cards. Yeah. So you've got those. They've got their own rainbow. Blue Pulsar, Houndstooth, which, by the way, isn't available in the first one, but Houndstooth in the retro. Golden Treasures as well. And red autographs, which also have some parallels, so you've got a lot of autograph variants. The autographs themselves also have parallels. Because, of course, it is a set of parallels, so you have to bear that in mind. This is kind of the hockey upper deck equivalent of like what Prism or Select do. Not quite as bad, but it's, you saw how many parallels I read off. It's quite a number.
It's heavy.
Yeah, so a lot of the same parallels you see there are also available in the autographs. So here is an example, a mock-up of the Bedard. You pull this one, you probably did pretty well. but it's going to be, this is basically the chase you're looking for. You're not going to be looking for memorabilia. You're looking for color and you're looking for autographs. That's the draw on this particular product. Photo driven here is one of the easiest. So you've got that image there. It's a, kind of a basic insert, but it's there as well. Showmanship. That looks a little bit kind of like the base, but I imagine it's going to look pretty good. Again, with the chromium and the shine, I think it'll probably look all right. Sweet selections here. We've got that for autographs as well. So there you go. So what you're looking at here, here's your breakdown. You're looking at 12 cards per pack, 12 packs per box. So you're looking at a 12 cards per pack and 12 packs per box. So that's very similar to a flagship configuration because that's what they switched to, 12 and 12. So 8 boxes per case. The set size is 300 cards. So one important caveat I'll make in the spirit of being as fair as possible, if you're looking for a specific card, just bear that in mind. You're getting 144 cards in a box. It's a 300 card base set, and you're going to be looking at a lot of color in the midst of doing a break. So it is going to be moved around in terms of like looking for a specific player. It might be a little tough. So I'm just letting you know that in advance so that you don't have unfair expectations. But you can expect inside of a box you're going to get. So here's the breakdown of what to expect. In a hobby box, you're going to get an autograph. Photo-driven, sweet selections, and showmanship, 12 total. So you're going to get a number of those included in the box. 6 retros, 1 retro rainbow. As far as rainbow, matte pink, or sunset parallels, 11 total. So there's a lot of color there. And serial number cards, you're 5 total in a hobby box. That is what you should expect. And the checklist is available here, and you can download an Excel version of it as well and see all the different versions of the parallels in here. And it's got a complete breakdown of the checklist as well, so you can see exactly what numbers you're going to be looking for and who you're going to be chasing. So anything else you want to add, guys? That's just kind of the high-level view, just to give a little explanation for the O-Pee-Chee Platinum.
No, the main thing is we're just going to do our best to, put the right price on it that will help everyone and obviously help us move it faster. And I just saw Sherry walk by with a table, so she's found some tables.
I didn't see her.
There you go. So bear in mind, check that out. That's going to be the new product in the store this week. And again, if you have questions about pricing or availability, you can contact directly to the store, because in these venues, you cannot give the pricing. We've talked about that before. But if you contact the store directly, you can get information about availability, pricing, and you'll know better what's gonna be available. And check it out. These are fun from the perspective of opening. It is fun to see what comes out of it. You do, as I said, get a lot of color. I gave you the breakdown. There is an autograph available in the box. We wish you the best of luck. As always, it's something where you're taking your chance. You're having some fun with it. And there are plenty of singles to chase as well. So once some of that stuff starts getting broken, you can start chasing some of those singles and be looking for your parallels of your favorite players or whatever the case may be. Build out your team set, whatever you're interested in doing.
Yeah.
And you can go in there and let Steve and Blair know which Tragically Hip song is your favorite.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people have seen this. A lot of people know what this product is, but yeah, it looks fun, and there's a lot of different autographs to chase and stuff. So, like Steve said, we're gonna try to price this as competitively as possible to make it a little easier on everyone. So we're looking forward to seeing what comes out of it in store.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I'll do just to cut everyone off at the pass, because I can imagine, again, I think the store is going to be very competitively priced, but you may be wondering why it is higher than years past. And the answer is Connor Bedard.
Exactly.
Just being honest, just telling the truth here. Because if you go and like, wait a minute, wasn't this product this last year and this year? Yep. Connor Bedard. We agree. 100%. We know.
Yep.
Connor Bedard. That's our answer. I just thought to be fair, Steve. I'm sure someone will ask the questions at one point, so we may as well at least be upfront and say Connor Bedard.
Yeah, and I mean that comes right from the distributor, so we can't change what they put it out at. So there definitely was a price increase, but we'll do our best to give you the best price, and I think we will have the best price.
Yeah,
actually, we will have the best price.
Yeah, I think based on the discussion, we before we hit record, we had a discussion. We were taking a look at some of the other ones. I think if you're in the store, I think you'll be pleased relative to the marketplace. I think you will find it hard to find a competitive price to match that. So take advantage of it. If you're local and you can pop in and you want a box, that's probably going to be your best shot at getting a reasonable price on it. Otherwise, again, cross your fingers for you. Best of luck on trying to get it. Good luck. Hopefully you get a nice card out of it and you find what you're looking for. So that'll be it for us on this one. Good episode. We want to thank the collector of the scallops, the collector of the people, and Tragically Hip historian, Steve. Thank you as always.
Love those guys.
There you go. And again, now you, hey, actually, here, right at the end, for engagement purposes, why not? For have a little bit of fun. If you got to the end of the video, what I would like is for you to tell us your favorite Tragically Hip song.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I like to hear some selections. Feel free to go to the deep cuts, but we gave you a bunch of like high level ones that I think most people have heard at some point. But go for the deep cuts, man. Go for it. There's a ton of albums to choose from. Pick some, whatever works for you. Blair, thank you.
I'm off to put the Tragically Hip on in the store.
Yeah, and you should fire up your camera and whatever. Again, I wasn't singling anyone out, but now that the card show is right on location, I think someone somewhere needs to get to work. Just throwing it out there. They can't be gallivanting the whole time and expect never to have to come to work again.
Whenever I need a good cry, I put on Fiddler's Green. So I'm sure that will be amongst several people's favorites as well.
There you go. But so again, if you did check out the end of it, feel free. Throw in your favorite. We'd like to hear what different options. I'd be curious to see what kind of variety we get in terms of options and selections. So some good ones to choose from. So that'll be it for this time around. Next episode will be episode 50. I don't know if we're going to do anything special, but I just want to point out it'll be episode 50. We'll think of something. I don't know. We'll get Blair in a funny hat or something. I don't know.
We'll have cake.
There you go. We'll have cake. All right. Thanks, everybody. Check out more videos on the channel. Check out the live stream that had that cup break. It's already pre-recorded, so you can zip through it and check it out. But check out some interesting stuff was pulled in, and even including some of the stuff we featured here. So you can check that out. We'll try to include some more stuff in the future, and we're planning tentatively some stuff, but we don't want to commit to it yet. But when we know more and got the details, we'll share it with you. So that's it for us this time around. Thanks very much, and we'll catch you in the next one.